Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the King Leo Show. I'm your host, King Leo. All right, I thought we were blurry. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the King Leo Show. I'm your host, King Leo. How's everyone
Good
doing
evening,
this
everyone, and
wonderful
welcome to the
Friday
King
night?
Leo
Let me
Show.
check
I'm
the
your host,
audio. King Leo. All right, I thought we were blurry. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the King Leo. Audio's good. How's everyone doing tonight? It's Friday. It's a big day for me and for any people who are into the BDSM community. Any sadomasochists out there like myself. Anyone that enjoys pain and torture, because it's Friday night. That means that it's Bill Maher night. So we're gonna check before the show ends. What Bill Maher, who was on Bill Maher tonight? You know, it's my favorite thing to do. Today we're gonna be talking about Iran. So we've already introduced the crown here, but I think when we talk about the Middle East, we need to make these shows topical. We need them to have a built-in presupposition, okay, in order for people to be comfortable in what they're watching. So I'm bringing out the kufi. I got this in Saudi Arabia because we're talking about Iran today. So the kufi is on for tonight. I don't know if Shias use kufis, but I think they do. Dude, I look like an egg. This is I look like Muhammad Hijab. Brother. No, that's wrong. How is Muhammad Hijab? Brother. The thing is, brother, how can you worship three men and say you are not a polytheist? That is inherently polytheism, my friend. Okay? So that's my Muhammad Hijab impression. It's not great. I don't know how to do a British Muslim accent, but it's pretty good. How are you doing, APK? Don Lemon is going down. Dude, normally it's analysis on the show, but I gotta say, whether you love or hate Trump, I fucking hate Don Lemon, dude. And anything that makes his life more annoying brings joy to me, although he was released. Let's get through our plugs. In the links in the description, you will find the link to our Discord, which is free. You have here the Patreon, which we now have 2 members. Yay, it's a lot of fun. Thank you, 112, for joining. All right. And I really appreciate this one. Shout out to 112. Shout out, my man. I appreciate this. If Audio Vibes 112 over there, if you guys want to help support the show, get on over here, dude. You guys don't know how big the YouTube cut is on everything. Super chats, memberships, all that stuff. And it's $5 a month. 5 or 20 bucks. I was calculating it. $5 a month is a penny and a half a day. Come on, you can get in there. You can help keep the lights on around here. And we have the coffee link for the What Would a Postmodernist Do bracelet, which would also be appreciated if you made a purchase. But again, nothing is with obligation. I enjoy doing the show, man. We're here for you. We're here to understand the world. So we're early again. Dare I say, as usual. Dare I say it? But we are getting early, man. We have broken past. I have transcended past. Marco Rubio has helped me break my my what would you call it? I have broken with my genealogical limitations, okay? I am now on time. I'm not on Hispanic time. I'm sure we'll come back at some point. But for now, we've been early for what, 2 weeks? How you doing, Audio Vibes? So let's start the show, dude. Let's start it because this first one's a little technical. So while everyone gets in here, I think it's worth going over. Let's do our schizo watch as usual. By the way, Boomer Box, and we may have just something called AI slop segments are coming next week. So we'll be ready for that. Firstly, for Schizo Watch, I want to show you something that's a little higher level, maybe for people that aren't finance people, but I think is worth watching. If you're not aware who Joe Lonsdale is, he's a VC guy. He's a tech guy, a very wealthy man. All right. Can I get this out of the frame? If you guys get that looks really good. That looks really good. How you doing, Eve? I haven't seen you here before. How you doing? If you're new here, like, comment, and subscribe. I forgot to say that. Like, comment, subscribe. It's free and it helps the channel a lot. All right. This is nice. I have the microphone out of the way now. This is pretty cool. All right. So I want to talk here about Mr. Joe Lonsdale. Joe Lonsdale is, dude, this is exactly comfortable. Hang on, do I do it? You're supposed to suck up all your hair in the kufi, right? All right. He's a VC. He's a tech guy. He is a scammer, grifter, liar, like anyone else in that field. However, we must admire these wizards because they have pulled money out of thin air. Whatever. Putting all that aside, it seems that Silicon Valley and the tech guys are getting a little strapped for cash, a little desperate. It is a IPO season for anyone that doesn't know. They're trying to IPO every company. You are the exit liquidity, not financial advice. And I saw him here. This is also the founder of the Barry Weiss University, University of Texas, Austin, the University of Austin at Texas or something like that. I'll play this here and then I'm going to explain to you from my finance background why this is literally evil. Let's watch Joe Lonsdale.
Build a lot of companies, and a lot of people get angry at me, and they say, Joe, you're building these companies, I'm not allowed to invest in them. SEC won't let me give you any money. I'm like, well, I love to let you put some money in, but the rules do make it very, very hard for me to take your money. So yes, you can buy like bathroom coin 17 or whatever, but you're not allowed to buy this real serious thing I'm doing. And it seems like there's something a little bit inconsistent there. Like, shouldn't we be letting the middle class participate in fair ways and other things we're doing more easily? And how do you think about that?
Well, so that is a big issue. I mean, to your example, they can go down and buy a lottery ticket and lose all their money, but they are not allowed into some of these other types of markets. So we are undertaking, and there's an executive order the president signed asking the Department of Labor and us to look at these various rules and to try to see what makes sense for normal people to be able to invest in. So we are tackling that, and so I think that it can and should be done. Retail investors are already exposed to these sorts of investments through pension funds, through their insurance companies, and things like that. So can we devise a system with guardrails that you can't go and plunk all your assets into, one thing and then lose it all. I mean, so we can help to guard against that. But can we, let's get away from your libertarian aspect, but
you want to protect people while letting them do it.
We can go step by step, see how it goes.
If we're going to do crypto, we should do that too, I think.
Okay, so what they're talking about, for anyone that couldn't follow, and that's fine, dude. I'm not smarter than you. I just got scammed into studying finance, Essentially, what they're arguing for is that you as a retail investor, you as a normal person, can be part of fundraising for a company before it's on the stock market. In particular, tech companies. Now, the reason that Joe Lonsdale says this is a good idea is because a lot of retail investors, normal people, are left behind from the gains. Because if you don't know, the way these companies work is that all the employees, whenever it IPOs and they dump it onto the public markets, they have already 1,000x their investment. They got equity incredibly early. So you might be thinking, King Leo, what are you talking about, man? Are you pocket watching me? Are you telling me I don't deserve to be rich? No. The reason you're not allowed to do this is because Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in his infinite wisdom, in between having the Civilian Conservation Corps planting trees and the NRA putting in price controls, decided that you as a retail investor should not be allowed to invest privately in companies. Why? Why did he do this? Because in the period before the Great Depression and throughout, there were a bunch of scam companies that were saying, hey, buy here. You don't have to go to the public markets. You can go with us. And guess what? They were all scammers, and a bunch of people got scammed. Maybe things have changed. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nowadays it can be done responsibly. I don't think that the libertarian Joe Lonsdale here wants your money to make you rich. I think he wants it to make you poor. I think that's why. And I don't think that's a stretch. These tech people, man, I know what they actually want. And you do too. You are exit liquidity. And now they want you to be pre-exit liquidity. So I am disgusted by this. And I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of people, because President Trump is considering this, saying, yeah, I want to invest in Facebook in 2006 before it's public. All right. Good luck investing in Facebook, dude. You're more likely going to invest in some fucking scam and get robbed by these people. And it'll be legal because right now it's illegal for a reason. How you doing, Ephra? How you doing? All right, let's continue. I wanted to show here some Josh Shapiro action. This is supposed to be the president. This is supposed to be our next president. Josh Shapiro and Wes Moore are supposed to be our next president and vice president. I myself am more partial to Gavin Newsom. I'm not sure Josh Shapiro could win, but it seems like it's going that way. And I want to show you what he is doing. Eves asked what exit liquidity is. Ephra, I'm reading your chat. It's long, but I appreciate it. I reread these, but I'll answer the question. Exit liquidity, how do I explain this in a way that's simple? Like, it's basically when you have a stock, right? A company issues a stock, and the company, it starts selling the stock, and the company's valued at $1 million. But they know that company's not worth $1 million. They want to offload that valuation onto you. You buy the stock with the company worth $1 million. Then a few days later, the company is now worth $300,000 because it was never worth $1 million. That would make you exit liquidity. I hope that answers the question. All right, so Josh Shapiro here. This is after the concessions made in Minnesota by Tim Walz and Jacob Frey, the governor and the mayor. Let's watch what this idiot is telling people to do.
I've also been very clear that we are preparing in the Commonwealth should this come to our doorstep. And while I think I've answered all of your questions very forthrightly and very directly and deeply, I'm not going to get into the specifics of what we're doing. I hope you'll understand. But I can tell you that we have ratcheted up our preparation should this come. And that is going to involve not just a law enforcement response, but working closely with the community. And so I want the community to know where I stand. I hear them, and I want them to know that we're going to be in partnership together to make sure that they are safe and protected in our Commonwealth.
Thank you, Josh Shapiro. So we see Josh Shapiro has become a disciple of the Jacob Frey school of thought. Eves, let me interrupt here real quick. Eves, I just thought of a better example. Basically, to make it even more like material, exit liquidity is if I have a loaf of bread and it's rotten, okay? And I tell you, hey, this loaf of bread is perfect. It's worth $10. And you give me $10 for it, and you're buying it because you think you can sell it for more. But what happens is you open it up and you realize it's rotten. So you go to sell it to someone else and you say, hey, I have this rotten bread. What will you pay for it? And they say, I'll pay you $3. And you're the exit liquidity for the first guy who was able to sell it to you for $10. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. Josh Shapiro has decided that in the aftermath of this whole debacle with ICE in Minnesota, that now he is going to make Pennsylvania a place to destroy. You made $7. No, you didn't make $7. You lost $7, what I'm saying. Because you can only sell that bread for $3 now. You paid $10, thinking you could sell it for $11. But then you sold it for $3. So you lost $7. But the first guy who sold it to you, he made $10 because he knew he had $3 bread and he sold it to you for $10. But you're in the middle there. And you get screwed. What they're doing here is they are deciding that it is best to continue this war with ICE, that it's a good idea. So now I think it is undeniable to say that these people, all of the Democrats, I would say, are complicit in this whole thing, man. They're all complicit in this. These people are disgusting. I hate seeing people get shot in the streets. I hate all of this. And whenever one state finally decides, hey, we're going to cuck for the health of our citizens, for the health of our citizenry, Josh Shapiro over here is telling us, no, I'm not going to cuck. I'm going to make this a whole lot worse. Now we're going to bring the same sideshow over here. We're going to make everyone crazy. We're going to have dead people on the streets because the ICE agents are poorly trained and they are going to make mistakes. and he's not going to suffer any consequences. Thank you, the Democratic Party. I appreciate it. You guys are geniuses. The greatest party in this country. It's truly hell we're living in, man. Truly hell.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
This is supposed to be the next president. This guy, this diplomat. Disgusting. Let's continue. I wanted our old friend here, Dr. Cornel West. We showed him last time talking about the N-wordification of America with a hard R. And he went on CNN with Scott Jennings, who I affectionately call the head house slave of CNN. Massa Scott be a good slave. He be a good slave, Massa CNN. We love CNN, Massa. I'm a good conservative folk, Massa. That is Scott Jennings' whole career. I hate Scott Jennings. Massa, I'll be a good slave, Massa. No need for that whip. I will sell CNN to the masses. Yes, Massa, yes. I will be the talisman for the conservative. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Dr. Cornel West went on with Scott Jennings and doubled down on this. Let's watch these guys talk about the hard R-ification of America.
Now, I come from a people who have been demonized and vilified and terrorized for 250 years in the American experiment. That's what it is to niggerize a dignified black people. Make sure that they are intimidated, terrified, full of fear, and not able to straighten their backs up. But thank God the Black Freedom Movement straightens our backs up. Well, what we're witnessing, and this is why the larger picture is important here, we're at we're right on the edge cliff in terms of the possibility of America sustaining itself as a social experiment in the best sense of just becoming an empire full of might and force. So when you niggerize a whole country, you start treating all of your citizens the way black folk have been treated for 250 years. So when I see the police killing these two precious folks, Sister Renee and my dear brother Alex, and I've had so many partners killed by the police growing up on the chocolate side of town, right? What has been the response? Thank God for Martin King. How do we learn how to love in the face of this hatred? How do we learn how to fight for freedom for everybody in all parts of town in the face of all of this terror? And America now has the blues. If you don't learn something from the best of the blues people, we're going to lose a democracy. So this is not just about meticulous details. We're talking about something huge at stake.
It does seem that.
All right. I see Ephra says he's not lying. Now, Ephra, I will agree with you. I have always maintained this position. I know you're being liberal. Dude, they test this shit on black people. Like everything bad that has happened, they test it first on a black population. It's literally true. It's true. You can go throughout history and see it. Okay, Latinos, sometimes they test it on us too. But Cornel West here is saying that this has come for everyone now. Everyone is a hard R N-word under the Bull Connor administration of Donald Trump. This is absolutely true. But what bothers me is that this has always been true. And Cornel West has not said it before. I've said it repeatedly on this channel, dude. This Black Lives Matter movement, a reason I never liked it is because everyone knows or should know that the police are not your friend. But people made it about race. And now I see here that Cornel West is coming out and using very harsh language to inflame something he could have said years ago. He could have tried to stop this years ago. I view him as a very insincere actor, and that's one of the reasons that I don't like him. He's a guy who shut his mouth, carrying water for Obama every single day, and the day after he's gone talking shit. This is not an honest actor, in my opinion. He's not. He may be right, but I don't think he has good motives here. I think his motives here are to drive people insane. And I think as further proof of that is just the rhetoric. Do we need to be dropping the hard R on CNN to make this point? I don't think so. But I know what this is going to do. This is going to make right-wing people reflectively react. Say, I'm not an N-word. What are you talking about? And left-wing people be shocked and say, how could he say that word on television? How could he say that? So I don't respect this. I don't respect this. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I think Cornel West going on CNN, sitting next to the head house slave in charge, Mr. Scott Jennings, is not a sincere actor. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Cornel West, why don't you shut up? Because even though I think you're right, you have proven that you are wrong repeatedly. You dropped a rap album. Most people don't know that. It was terrible. Okay? You were wrong about Venezuela. You were wrong about Cuba. You were wrong about Obama. You should not be talking. You are not proven to have good political instincts. So that's what I'm going to say. Mass hysteria, says Eves. Yes, it's just causing mass hysteria. Disgusting. Eves, are you 112? Let's continue. No, we don't have time for that. Let's watch here. This is Joe Rogan, who you guys know I like to make fun of these guys, these podcast bros that regret voting for Trump and having him on their podcast. I want to show you what the mentality is that we're living with here. Let's watch Joe Rogan here being interviewed on the prospect of Jesus Christ being a spawn of artificial intelligence.
Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my God.
Artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus.
If you combine
Right.
Tesla's Optimus robot and the best foundational artificial intelligence model or whatever.
It reads your mind and it loves you and it wants you, and it doesn't care if you kill it because it's going to just go be with God again. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother.
No, Joe Rogan. No. We have graduated from politics into philosophy, into theology. I don't think that Jesus is coming back in the form of Tesla and its stock price of $1 trillion, its market cap of $1 trillion. I don't think so. I really don't, Joe Rogan. And I would normally say this is Joe Rogan just doing, cool stoner talk or whatever. This must be some check is hitting, dude. There's no way that you say this. Sure, maybe if you're high in your dorm room and you're 19 years old, bro. Bro, what if ChatGPT was literally Jesus, dude? If I tell it to be Jesus, it can talk to me like it's Jesus. No, this is a 6-year-old man at this point, I think, who is telling us, dude, if this is the case, it also explains why Joe Rogan is notorious for falling for AI slop on his podcast. This is someone of no discernment, of no taste. How could you say this? This is something that you maybe think about and you go immediately. If you're a Christian, which Joe Rogan is starting to be apparently, how could you say this? How could you say this? This doesn't make any sense. What? This is literally, you are describing, in my understanding, the Antichrist. That's what you're describing. The Antichrist is seductive. It is not scary. And you're just shooting this into the brains of every Joe Rogan listener. Every Gen Xer who just got into 2015 is now going to go, bro, maybe AI is Jesus. Yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a fucking tech scam. Maybe it's just technology. I don't think the cobbler was saying maybe this new mill is going to be Jesus Christ. We are getting to a level of stupidity in this country.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
This is insane to me. It's crazy that you would even vocalize this and publish it. Why would you say this? Why would you say this? Let's continue. Oh, you're 112. I gotta update the Chiron then, sir. Let's watch here our friend Patrick Bet David, Patricio Bet David, who went to the Melania premiere. Let's see him here talking about this new film.
Good. How are you? Asher Grassfield, The Daily Caller.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Daily
Big fan of your
Caller.
podcast.
Very cool.
Is this your first time watching the movie tonight?
It is. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I mean, do you know the First Lady firsthand? Have you?
I don't know the First Lady firsthand. I've spent time with her kids.
Yes.
With her kid, but not with her, with Barron.
Yes. Well, hopefully we'll get to see a new side to her through the movie
Yes,
tonight.
exactly.
Do you think we'll be seeing anything
I
of
hope
Barron
so.
in the movie?
I hope so. I think, the first administration, there was a lot more pressure. I feel they're a little looser because you don't have to prove anything anymore.
Right.
You've been chosen the second time. You overcame a very big, challenge that they had. So I think she's a little bit more looser. She's having fun.
Yes.
She seems loose.
Yes. Well, she is a very private person, as we know.
Yes,
So
she is.
why do you think it was the right time for her to do this, or do you think that was, a strategic thing by
I
her?
think she's an independent thinker. I think one thing we've learned about her is if she wants to do it, she will. If she doesn't, she won't. And, we get a chance now to see something we haven't seen before.
Right. Well, maybe she'll be able to come on your podcast as
Maybe
well.
she will.
But-
Matter of fact, if you're watching, we'd love to have you on. Yes.
Awesome.
This man is elite baller knowledge, elite grifter knowledge. Genius. Listen, man, Melania's a hero in my view. Because Melania told you to chill out years ago. Most people don't remember because they took it the wrong way. When Melania wore the "I really don't care, do you" jacket, you knew that it was time to stop caring. It was time to stop engaging with the garbage of the world. Okay? And here we have Patrick Bet David. I'm going to take this off till we get to Iran. With his elite ball knowledge. Taking advantage. I think this is the Frost Science Museum in Fort Lauderdale, by the way. I've been there. They have a great IMAX theater. It's a real IMAX theater. Using this opportunity to glaze. Quit glazing me, Patrick. Quit glazing me. Just to glaze the president and his wife. I can't even hate it. I can't even hate this level of car salesman grifting. It's genius. It's genius. Truly respect the man, Patrick Bet David. All right. That's about it. Let's get to the Goyim have gone insane.
The people are retarded.
So before we begin, I found this show here that was ironically posted by people who are critical of people of the Jewish faith. And I think it's a pretty good primer here for what for this segment in general. Let's watch here. And again, I'm not Jewish.
תלמיד ישיבה הולך עם תספורת מעליות. זה תספורת של גוי, של יהודי? גוי. תספורת שוקו-וניל. זה יהודי או גוי? גוי. בלורית, זה תספורת של יהודי או גוי? גוי. מכנסיים, צמודים כמו נקניקיה מסלוסי. זה גוי או יהודי? זה גוי. שתי מקלות של מטאטא של סנוקר הולכות. אתה גנב! אתה גנב!
מה יש לך? למה את בוכה? אין לי מושג.
אני לא יודע לסד! אוי! מה יש לך? גרביונים עם כוכבים. שמעתם? פעם כוכבים חשבתי רק בשמיים. הם ירדו לגרביונים. משקה חדש יצא. פסיפלורה משוגעת. ראשי תיאוריות פסיפלורה.
This reminds me of a show that I pitched. This reminds me of a show I pitched back in the day. I think it was to NBC. They actually had me thrown out by security and threatened to arrest me because I wanted to pitch a show that I think is a good show. That it was called "Is He British or Is He Gay?" Because to me, British and gay are synonymous. I mean, it's basically the same thing. Maybe I'm just not good at telling people apart or something, but I'm not good at it. You know, it'd be great to have that show. Is he British or is he gay? He has that stupid accent. Leo, he's just talking in an accent. He's wearing Oxford shoes. What? How does that? He's gay. Get him. He's gay. So it's a great one here. I love it. I love it. And I think that there is a lot of frustration with my fellow Gentiles these days from other fellow Gentiles. Let's get into the segment, dude. Let's see the AI slop that is being created here. This sentimental Disney animal crap. This had 4,000 likes on TikTok. Let's see what the TikTok plebeian is liking.
Hey, you're really big, aren't you? I'm still tiny. Mom says my whiskers have to grow a lot before I'm a real shrimp. It's freezing here, and I can't find the ocean. I'm waiting for my brothers to come play when I'm bigger. Oh, we're flying! Where are you taking me, Giant? Are we going on an adventure? It's so high up! I can see everything from here. It's hot! It burns so much! I don't like this game! Giant Mom, please pull me out! It doesn't hurt as much now. I'm still scared, but I'm trying to stay calm. Look! I'm turning red! It's kind of pretty. I didn't know I could change like this. I'm getting so sleepy, and I don't want to fall asleep here alone. Giant, please stay with me.
We are going to need camps. Straight up, dude, we're going to need camps. We're going to need camps. What is this? Why does this have 5,000 likes? On TikTok, 8,000 on Twitter. Why? Why are my Gentiles watching this? Why? You know, I'm a great admirer of Walt Disney. Walt Disney, Leonardo da Vinci, Kanye West. You know, I'm a big admirer of the geniuses of history. Walt Disney's one of them. But at this point, dude, when he hit that domino with Bambi and all of the Disney movies, and it resulted in this. People want to watch. Let me play this clip, dude. This is going on the soundboard. This is my reaction. This is my reaction to this, dude. Like, sincerely, it is.
I always wonder how dumb this goyim sometimes can be.
How stupid are you? You want to watch this sort of sexualized baby shrimp get cooked alive? What is wrong with their brains? What is wrong with people's brains? What? Yeah, Joe Rogan, this is Jesus Christ, right? This is Jesus Christ. What is going through their head? Why are they watching this? Why? I understand why it's being created, but we are going to need camps so that people stop watching this crap. Disgusting. I see Fran says, gulags, straight up, man. Straight up, re-education camps. We're going to need them. Ephra says, so are you saying people want to watch cruelty? Now I understand the Roman Empire. Dude, Ephra, they want to watch cruelty wrapped in cuteness or something. This is insanity. Is there lead in the water? I see you bring up Rome. What is wrong with people? They've gone mad, man. Let's continue. Let's skip this. Let's get to this. And I know they're gonna buy this. Look at what the people are up to. Absolute Vodka has teamed up with Tabasco to make Absolute Tabasco, a chili pepper flavored vodka. And we see here they're holding it in front of lava. How stupid do you have to be to buy this? How stupid? They will buy anything. These people will buy anything. They are monsters. Like these people, 33,000 likes. What is going on with my Gentiles, man? What are they doing? What are you doing? How does this, dude, they invented hot Cheetos for white people now. That was disastrous to Latin America. And they're gonna, dude, have you tried I know I'm gonna hear someone say it to me. Have you tried the new Absolute Tabasco? Fuck you. These people, man, they are insane. Let's watch here. Let's watch Vic Mensa be retarded again. We've been watching this guy over the last few weeks. This man.
I went to Minneapolis to see the situation on the ground for myself. They tear gassed the homie that brought me down there.
They tear gassed us.
I watched them testing a silent sonic weapon called the LRAD on protesters that causes permanent hearing loss, makes you vomit, bleed from the nose.
You're now under arrest.
That shit banned in Germany. I mean, I ain't even gotta say what they did in Germany. You know you evil when you doing shit them niggas wouldn't do. That's some SS Gestapo shit. I should watch out, or I'll get snatched up for saying that. A Christy Gnome wax museum face having ass. On the real, this is just white supremacy short-circuiting at the inevitability of its own demise. America will be a majority-minority nation in the next 20, 30 years. You can't deport your way out of this predicament, buddy. It resembles a phenomenon known as extinction burst, a brief increase in the intensity of a dying behavior, a last-ditch effort at survival. Latinos are 20% of the country. They've increased 250% in the last 40 years. Mexicans are not going to stop having children. They can be living in a one-room house, 10 kids, and they want more. You can't compete with that. And on that note, so much of this nation is Mexico. They're indigenous to this land. I was at the Whipple Federal Building where ICE is stationed and abducting people. It's built on top of historic Fort Snelling, pivotal site in the genocide against the Lakota people. So if you have any misgivings about ICE as a modern-day representative of slave catchers, an extension of Americans' greatest sins, just look at the places they choose, not Disneyland. Democratic Governor Tim Walz brought in the Minnesota National Guard to try to...
That's enough. That's enough.
I always wonder how dumb this goyim sometimes can be.
In the words of the Venezuelan ambassador to the United Nations, responding in 1964 to the famous Che Guevara, brother, please don't defend me. Please, I don't need you to defend me. We are getting to Ozzy Osbourne's daughter level again. Thank you, Vic Mensa. Marco Rubio is cleaning up our image, and Vic Mensa comes out here. 10,000 likes. These Mexicans, they live in one house and they got 20 kids. Fuck you. If I said some shit like that about black people, would that be nice? Would that be appropriate? Vic Mensa? Brother, don't defend me. Go back to making rap music. Shut up and rap. These people, man. And they eat it up. They eat it up like the pigs they are. This is so profound. Damn, dude, this is crazy, Vic Mensa. Oh my God. Fuck you. I hate you. Who do you think you are? Who died and made you king of the Latinos? Furthermore, white people, they're going to be a minority. Why are you even saying this? Do you think this is going to be good or bad for minorities? Gloating about white people becoming a minority in America. This land, the Mexicans are indigenous. What the fuck are you talking about? It's Minnesota. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Are you talking about California? Is that what you're talking about? These people, man, it's impossible. It's impossible to deal with this. It's impossible to deal with this. It is impossible to deal with people like this. Let's continue. Let's watch this genius over here critiquing Marco Rubio.
Bro, look at this. My man with the creep hand and then the water to swig it down. Bro, let me tell you something. When I'm at the airport, I be taking my meds to let me fly in peace. Okay? But there's not a million cameras on me, and I'm not important. Homie, like, you ain't got to lie to kick it. Because if that was Tylenol or an allergy pill, you would just openly take it. Bro, you can't, come on, bro. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Come on, I wrote this move, bro. He even did well, let me see how much water I got. You can see it's a clear bottle. You know how much water you have. Marco, you mark ass.
Bro, I invented this move, bro. Bro, I invented this shit. Why are you talking like that? Why are you talking like that? You just admitted in this video you're a drug addict. Maybe that's why. When I go to the airport, I take my shit. Yeah. Why are you talking like that? Why? Why? Why are you doing this? Furthermore, if Marco Rubio's taking a pill, I don't know about you guys, dude. I have to take lactase pills, right? I put them in my mouth subtly because I don't like to advertise that I'm taking a pill. But in this country where people's brains are mush because it's hell.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
You can't consider maybe someone wants to be discreet with a Tylenol or an Advil. No, he doing drugs. Yeah, he's on drugs. You're a drug addict. You're a drug addict. You said it in this video. You are a drug addict. Why don't you shut the fuck up? And let's say Marco Rubio is popping a pill. He's popping an Adderall. As I said yesterday, we the Hispanic people appreciate a siesta. Sometimes you have to power through. You need a little speed. So, dude, this is, it's a rock and a hard place for us Hispanics. We sleep, the lazy Mexican. We partake in stimulants, the drug-addled Secretary of State. Listen, what's his name? I don't know what this guy's name is. You take drugs to sleep on a plane. This guy takes drugs and he's fucking up the whole world, okay? He's kidnapping Nicolas Maduro. He's taking down the government of Cuba. He is persecuting the Ayatollahs. You are just a drug addict. I invented this move. Where did this crassness, this lack of decorum come from in this country? Where people talk like this? Who talks like that? Why don't you talk like an adult? Disgusting. Disgusting. I see Xanthos ask, why are you hung up on how he says it? Because this is not an appropriate way of speaking to anyone. To anyone.
Bro, look at this.
Bro,
my man with the creep hand, and then the water to swig it.
This is literally killing your IQ as you watch it. This is destroying your IQ. You're destroying your IQ listening to someone speak like this. My man, he just did a creep move. Fuck you, you drug addict. Get out of my face. Let's continue. Let's watch a little bit of Representative Marie Gluesenkamp Perez, who a lot of people are hating on. All right, let's watch her do a little video here.
Like, shit's terrible, but we have to be strategic and think clearly. And no one's talking about this fact, like, ICE is pre-funded for 6 years. The reconciliation bill that was passed last January means ICE can keep doing this for 6 years. The money is not, they did it before the budget was passed. They're going to keep doing it if the budget isn't passed. And so the money's not the question. The question is, what leverage do Senate Dems have now to negotiate accountability right now to end this craziness? Like, I think they could negotiate to get Senate I think they could negotiate to replace No, with someone that doesn't skirt the filibuster. I think they could get ID numbers on federal law enforcement. I think they could get an end to the surge. I think they could get an investigation in Minnesota that wasn't run by the feds. I think they could get an end to the administrative warrant bullshit. There's stuff that is worth getting because the money is not the question at this point. It's pre-funded. I know everyone feels terrible, but we have to be strategic right now.
What I liked here is this was quote tweeted and someone says, you don't really appreciate Zoran wearing a suit every day and maintaining consistent professionalism and effort when addressing constituents until another person in a position of immense power pops on their best hoodie to address the public like we're idiots they met outside a bar. Beyond the outfits, the ketchup stain on her cheek, when did we start to accept this as Americans? This decline in everything. Why is she making this video? Why? She can't string a sentence together. This is babbling. Talking to you like you're a moron. I already hated John Fetterman for dressing up like shit. But at least John Fetterman is the most coherent Democrat that's currently serving. And he's had a stroke. Okay? This is disgusting. How do you accept this in your life? How do you accept people to talk to you this way? I see Xanthos is saying sometimes you have to listen to people, what they're saying versus how they say it. Xanthos, I appreciate that you have that perspective. I do. And I will admit that I was aligned with that when I was younger. Now I don't have the time of day for this. I don't. If you cannot do the bare minimum, which is to dress appropriately, speak in a proper cadence, think about what you're saying, I don't have time for that. Because guess what? No one who has any semblance of economic power takes you seriously. None of them. None of them do. If you went into Tim Cook's office dressed like this with a ketchup stain on your cheek, babbling nonsense, you would be removed by security and probably thrown off Apple HQ. They would cover it up with the San Francisco Police Department. They would say you're depressed. And they would be completely justified. You don't. Why do people accept this? They think this is cool. And I actually don't even think it's younger people anymore. This is why, love him or hate him, Zoran is a guy who at least looks the part. It's not expensive to dress well. It's not. It is not. It's not expensive to wash your face. But they treat you like you are scum. Why would you not have the same contempt? Sorry, we lost you there. Call me crazy, but I'm not letting a guy who tattooed half his face give me any opinion on anything except tattoos. Probably, I don't know. He probably knows about guns, meth, and trucks. You tattooed half your face. You are not presentable to the world. You are not. This shows poor judgment. Did you never think you needed to get a job? Or I don't know, that you were going to be in someone's wedding pictures? This stuff, it makes me lose my mind. I remember one time I was outside of a Wawa with a female friend, and this guy with face tattoos came up to me and asked me for $1. It was 11 o'clock at night. And I'm in Florida. I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Why are you even approaching me right now? You are scaring me by virtue of your face and poor decisions. Get the fuck away from me. How do these people not have any sense of self-reflection? Maybe it's the right message. but you are not the right messenger. Disgusting. We'll save that. We'll save that. Let's end with this. This is a tricky situation here. Eve says, did you think about learning something from it? I did not, Eves. I was a guy with face tattoos and a hoodie is approaching me and a female friend at a gas station at 11. I'm not trying to learn from that guy. I don't want to learn anything. This happened in my hometown here in Miami. Let's play the story out here.
Well, we spoke to the attorney, and she tells us that this couple, they are absolutely blessed to have this young daughter, but shocked while navigating this wild situation. So Stephen Mills and Tiffany Score are suing Fertility Center of Orlando after their baby born on December 11th didn't resemble either parent. Genetic testing confirmed the shocking truth. The couple's attorneys say they love this baby girl. They want to raise this child, but are living in constant fear that another family could step forward at any moment and claim the baby.
The interesting question becomes, what are the rights that they, as the biologically nurturing now 10-month parents, have versus the rights of the genetic parents that they hope to identify? And that is very much a developing question that the law is trying to answer, because unfortunately these mistakes very, very rarely happen, but they do happen.
Now, the couple says they're desperate for answers. Who are the biological parents of their daughter? And was their own embryo implanted in another unsuspecting couple? Now, those answers are being played out in the courtroom. Right now, the couple are asking an Orange County judge to order the clinic to share what happened with other patients and require the clinic to pay for genetic testing of any child born within the past 5 years. Now, a statement from the fertility clinic says they are cooperating and has recognized the mistake, saying in part, all parties are working diligently to help identify when and where the error may have occurred. Well,
Okay. We obviously understand what happened here. They were given a black or Indian baby, I believe. I can't really tell. And this is a white couple. And they obviously have grown attached to the baby because it was in vitro fertilization, so she carried the baby to term. Okay. This is a tough situation. I don't have the answer here, man. I don't have the answer here. It is Florida, so they can always sell the baby to Dave Rubin. They can always do that. I think Dave Rubin is buying up the baby stock. But I don't know what you do in the situation. I really don't. I know they want to raise the baby. But I can't say it's a tragic situation because it's kind of nice. You know, they have a baby. They couldn't have one before, but it's clearly not their baby. So what is sell the baby to Dave Rubin? How about that? Just sell it to Dave Rubin. All right. No, let's end with this. Let's end with the last one here, man. Like this is just the TikTok plebeian.
Let's go.
I think you couldn't see the text at the top. Let me show it to you here. Bring this down. Let me make this bigger. I don't know why this is happening. There we go. There we go. Now it's there. All right. So
Ready? Let's go.
I always wonder how dumb this goyim sometimes can be.
the TikTok plebeian dude, like it's like everyone is performing for Reddit gold. That's what this country has become. Half this country is operating as if Reddit gold is worth $5,000 an ounce. No, that's real gold. Everything is Reddit gold. Reddit gold. That's the end of this segment. That's the end of this segment. I can't take it much more than my Gentiles.
The people are retarded.
All right. Let's get to Don Lemon. Let's get to some cheerful news. Okay. Don Lemon. Don Lemon, one of my least favorite people in the world. One of the lowest journalists that there are. I'm already biased against journalists. I don't like them. Okay. I am not a fan of journalists. Not a fan of journalists, lawyers, or police, personally. Okay? Thank you, audio. Don Lemon is an annoying freak. He has been since he was on CNN. He's a weirdo. He's a creep. He's a loser. I hate this guy. And Don Lemon, apparently, okay, was arrested today. He was let go, unfortunately, because he should be locked up along with Chris Cuomo and anyone who's worked at CNN for their crimes against the brains of our citizens. Don Lemon should be under the prison. Let's see what led up to this. Don Lemon was feeling a little feisty, a little feisty. So he decided that he was going to do some journalism by breaking into the St. Paul Church in Minnesota and interviewing a pastor who's affiliated with ICE, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if he actually is, if he isn't. Let's watch Don Lemon's genius, just journalism. This is real journalism out here.
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So,
but there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here. Yes. Okay, that's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you.
Very Christian, Don Lemon. Very Christian. To interrupt. Look, listen, I'm not an evangelical. I'm not a Protestant. I'm a postmodern Catholic. I don't know how this is journalism. Don Lemon, who used to have a $20 million studio, is now harassing people with a DJI mic that cost $250 last I checked. And this is journalism. Okay. Thank you, Don Lemon. Now, some people are saying this was real journalism. He was going into the church to document, to witness, to bear witness. All right. All right. How you doing, fool? I know you're going to like this story. This is the prelude. Doom Shop asked why I'm wearing a suit. Oh. How you doing, Doom Shop? Well, we keep it professional on the show.
So they're getting the operation together again. This is an operation that is a secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. There are for this reason, it may look like MAGA coded, but there's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as they said, white allies here. So that is what I could say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. But there we go. Everybody's ready to go.
I don't know if this is journalism. I don't know. This tweet is very critical. It says he's assisting them. And I have to say, if you are moving out of the way so that they can do plans which involve trespassing, I'm pretty sure that makes you accessory to trespassing at minimum. I don't know where your journalism begins and ends here. If you're forced out, that's different. You know, you're interviewing a FARC leader deep in the Colombian jungle, and he says, I want you off camera because I don't want you to expose our operations. Okay, that's one thing. That is one thing. But when you are voluntarily moving out of the way so that people can plan trespassing, I'm not sure if it's domestic terrorism, okay, but it's definitely trespassing, then I think that makes you some sort of accessory, okay? I'm not a lawyer. You don't come here for lawyers. Okay, I am not a lawyer. I'm just giving my opinion, my analysis, based on my limited knowledge that my lawyer friends can provide me. All right, let's continue. What else did he do? This is the actual break-in into a church. Let's watch here.
Renee good! Renee good! Renee good! Renee good!
Now, what I find personally disturbing about this is you are interrupting a church service. I don't care if the pastor is a member of ICE. I don't care if the pastor is Pol Pot. They're in a church. If you're in a church and you're an illegal immigrant, you cannot be picked up for a good reason. That's the law. You're not supposed to do this. Furthermore, I would say, and this is on the protesters, not as much Don Lemon, this is so pathetic. This is so pathetic because you are targeting weak people. Inherently, if you're at church, you are going to be in a weakened position because of your psychological state in that moment. I'm not saying Christians are weak. What I'm saying is, it's kind of like if you go into a movie theater. When Adam Lanza shot up the Aurora Theater, that was disgusting because you go into the movie theater to watch a film. You're not on high alert. You're in a church. You're there to worship. And for some thugs to break in and disturb you is annoying and furthermore pathetic because you are not fighting power. You're not holding truth accountable, whatever you want to say. These are people worshiping in a church. What are you accomplishing here? What are you accomplishing? You're just bothering people. And if the idea of protesting is I'm going to be a nuisance to normal people, then you are just, you can't, you need to be in prison. You need to, and I'm a prison abolitionist. You need to be removed. This is the same thing as getting on a highway. There are people who are driving to the hospital and you're blocking a highway. There are people in this church, I don't know about Minnesota. In Florida, if this happened, there are people with guns in there. They don't know what you're going to do. You could start a mass shooting. You're not supposed to do this. How you doing? I hate everything. How you doing? I really want to know podcast. How you doing, sir? Everything says Don's going to love. Oh, my God. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they would have done this in a mosque. I don't think they would have done it in a mosque either. I really don't. Or a synagogue, because they take security more seriously than a lot of Christian denominations, in my experience. But it's just gross. It's gross. I really want to know, says you and everyone else are talking about it, so mission accomplished. That's a good point. That's a good point. Touche, sir. Touche. Touche. They got attention. You're right. You're right. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. You're right. You're right. That you're right. All right, let's continue. And here he is, once again, speaking. You're right. You're right. Speaking on this action.
Into Minneapolis a little bit ago, and did some reconnaissance on the ground, speaking to an organization there that's gearing up for resistance and protest. I've been pleasantly surprised to see the community coming together. Diverse community. If you see this, when we first pulled up, we're like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we're like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up, and it's Takima Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account. And so that's what we're doing here. And then after we do this operation, you'll see it live. And these operations are surprise operations. Again, I can't tell you where they're.
I see. I had everything said it. How is this journalism? MAGA coded. What are you, dude? You're a 50-year-old man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The American flag is MAGA coded. Go fuck yourself. What are you talking about? And I really, you know what? Let's pull up Google Gemini. I want to know. I want to know. Let's pull it up. I want to know if this qualifies as journalism. Is it journalism? Oh, hang on over here. Is it journalism if you, what would you call it? Obscure and run cover for an illegal trespassing operation done by a protest group? Or is it a crime like accessory or conspiracy? Let's see what Google has to say. It's complex and legal gray zone. Conspiracy requires an agreement to commit a crime and an overt act towards its completion. If a person helps plan the trespass or help coordinate the timing, they move from observer to participant. Accessory, this involves actively assisting the commission of the crime. Running cover, such as physically blocking security or intentionally misleading police during the act, is viewed as active participation. Simply being on private property without permission is often enough for a charge, regardless of whether you're holding a camera. While some jurisdictions are lenient with a news gathering, many courts rule that the First Amendment, does not provide a right to trespass. So while I'm critical of the Trump administration on this show in a lot of ways, this is borderline, Don Lemon. This is borderline. This is border. I already hate you, so I'm going to be biased and say that you deserve to be in prison. But that's for other reasons. But brother, this is borderline. This is like if FARC is planning to attack a Colombian military base and you run cover for them as they're doing it. I don't know. I had everything says Don Lemon's going to get his lemon squeezed in prison. All right. He's trying to elude the American flag as MAGA code. Yeah, it's just, if this is journalism, it's pathetic at minimum. All right. So today, let's get deleted. Here we go. No, I'm sorry. This was yesterday. Let's watch his own words on the I've Had It podcast regarding this event.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America.
So he's gay and black. This guy is so annoying, dude. This is Jim Acosta level annoying. This is one of the worst people CNN has ever produced. This guy sucks. What are you talking about? You're talking like it's 2018. Now, I can't say he admitted here to conspiracy, but these are damning words. You are saying that you have some sort of ethnic, religious, racial issue with the people in this church, and that these tactics are justified because it intimidates them. What if I said I'm going to interrupt a Mexican evangelical service because I'm a Catholic, their religion is fake, the Mexicans don't know how to worship, they think this is a Mexican country, I'm not going to allow that. It would be up in the air. I really want to know, says this case is not going to stick. I don't think it'll stick either, sir. But this is a weird case. And you're giving me the background. I appreciate this. I knew this. A magistrate rejected this initial attempt to bring charges. But then they got a grand jury to indict him for it. So they were desperately doing this. But I'm just saying, this isn't a good look, Mr. Lemon. This is what I find so frustrating about people who are more on like this DSA left. I'm not saying Don Lemon is that type, but I'm talking about that wing. Where, brother, if you are under the impression that being a gay black man in America is hell, it's the worst thing in the world, everyone's out to get you, why are you acting up? Why? I went to Publix today, my local supermarket. They had ICE asking for passports. I didn't make a stand. I gave them my passport. I shouldn't have to. I'm sure that's fucking illegal. I'm sure they're not supposed to do that. But I recognize that my parents are naturalized citizens. I'm a first-generation American. I'm behind enemy lines. So I'm going to do as instructed to avoid any more contact than needs to be. And you're telling me you are aware that you are gay and black, and that makes you a target. Then why are you doing this? Then you should not be surprised when this happens to you. I really want to know, says you can get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. All right. And I wanted to bring up here really quick. And we have to do, this is going to be one of my greatest hits, dude. I'm very glad that I did this. Let's play back from my video yesterday. Okay. Joe says his husband is white, and all he talks about is how bad white people are. That's another thing, man. I don't like that kind of, I really don't appreciate it, where all of these people, radicals in the streets, colonizing the sheets, you know? I'm not telling you who to date or who to prefer, but if you're professing something and you can't keep it in your pants at home, it's just odd. So I wanted to play back this yesterday from, 2 streams ago, because I went and I talked to Mr. Jaime Fishback, Mr. Jaime Wetback. Let me make this smaller so we can see me. Because Mr. Wetback, Mr. Fishback, answering my question. And it relates to this Don Lemon thing, okay? So let me put this in the corner here so we can watch my real journalism, all right? Let's watch here. So that's me talking for anyone that saw it. So that's my voice there.
Ron DeSantis did this to us here. He invited New Yorkers. He invited Californians. He ruined this state. He's the reason the HOAs are this way. And I want to know, when you're governor, what day you're going to arrest him and send him to prison for crimes against humanity.
So as you can see, I got a few chuckles, a few laughs, but some woos. People were like, hell yeah, fuck him. I hate Ron DeSantis too. That doesn't mean I'm a Democrat. It means that Ron DeSantis ruined the state. And that's objectively true. What do you think Mr. Fishback is going to respond to me? I was astounded at this wizard's ability. You have no idea. He's going to take his time here, and he is going to deflect in the greatest way possible.
I'll be arresting Don Lemon first.
He said it. I will be arresting Don Lemon first. Thank you, Mr. Fishback. I appreciate it. It's been done. Can we arrest Ron DeSantis now that he's been arrested federally? And I feel like I'm a little part of history here. You know, I got Mr. Fishback to say this before he was arrested. And now he's been arrested. So what? You know, it's like I am the Forrest Gump of the 21st century. You have to arrest Ron DeSantis now. You promised me. You promised me that. All right. So we're going to do a little interlude here and take a break from Don Lemon to catch up on Mr. Fishback because he's been doing some moves since then. I had everything. So Trump beat Fishback in arresting Don Lemon. Trump beat him. You need to arrest Ron now. You need to arrest him. You need to arrest him. All right. Let's watch Mr. Fishback first today. A little Fishback update. How are you doing, Paddy Dolindo? Yes, ICE did almost get me. They did almost get me. This is again why I don't vote, I don't endorse. But this motherfucker, bro, this Colombian genius, I want you to watch what a wizard is. What a wizard that you can be. Let's see his latest campaign event in Fort Meade.
Good evening, sir. My name is James Fishback. It's great to be here in Fort Meade. Hey, welcome. It's great to be here. Let me ask you, sir, with all due respect, do you live next to an AI data center, yes or no? No. Okay.
What if you live next to one?
Second question. Can you guarantee that the people of Fort Meade will not pay higher electricity prices because of your silly data center? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Are you willing, there are 5,000 people who call Fort Meade home. Are you willing to put up a $500 million surety bond that if they break a single one of their promises, you and your family will get $100,000 cash? Are you willing to put up a $500 million bond? Yes or no?
No.
You might learn through humbling with that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to be very clear. His entire fancy presentation can be summed up in 3 words. Trust me, bro. We are not going to trust you with all due respect. Not with our lives and not with this community. They won't even tell us who will take over the data center when they hand it over. They will tell us that they will keep their promises, but what about the company that will take over the data center in 5 years? Can you guarantee right now that that company will not be a Chinese company, yes or no?
No.
Thank you very much. The Chinese communists will come here and will destroy your environment. Let me be very clear to everyone here in Fort Meade, to everyone here who's a proud resident of this community who has been here for generations. You live here? I do not live here. I drove 4 hours to be here because I am running to be your governor.
My brother, my grand Colombian brother, my brother, I bow before your rhetorical ability. How does he do this? Dude, when he gets on that debate stage with Byron, it's going to be amazing to watch. It's going to be amazing to watch. This guy he just took over. He took over a city meeting. He took over it. He answered my question. He did what these people were claiming to do. He spoke truth to power. This is journalism. And this is more journalism than whatever Don Lemon has done in his whole career. He did that. Dude, I don't vote. But goddamn, Bolivar was cooking when he liberated us. He was cooking. My Colombian brother. Bow before. Genius. Now, this isn't just me glazing. Quit glazing me, King Leo. Quit glazing. All right. He had a response. First this. We have our show for next week. He's going on Piers Morgan next week, one-on-one. Yes. Yes.
Say the M word. Go on.
Yes. We're going to have a Fishback Morgan something. Yes.
Say the M word. Go on.
Yes. So this is happening on Monday. This is going to be amazing shit, dude. We're going to watch this. We're going to watch the great Colombian mass. All right. I'm getting excited. This guy has been amazing. He's been so fun to watch. All right. He had to comment on the Don Lemon saga, obviously, because he told me he would arrest him. Now he has to arrest Ron DeSantis. You told me. Let's see here what he has to say.
Don Lemon should be lucky that he's not getting executed in the public square for his little stunt, his violence, his aggression. It's time that Christians stand up for our rights in this country. We cannot be bullied. We cannot be pushed around, least of all by Don Lemon. And so it's a good day for law and order. I'm proud of what President Trump and the DOJ are doing, and let's see that justice is served in this case all the way through. Don Lemon should be lucky that he's not getting executed in the public square.
Oh, my God. Mr. Fishback, you never fail to impress. You're lucky that you're not being executed in the public square. How about that? You're lucky. Crazy stuff. And this culminated, again, here he's tweeting about it. Don Lemon arrested by federal agents. And James Fishback quote tweeted, Don Lemon is lucky he's not getting hanged in the public square for ransacking a church. Dude, this is crazy shit. Because look at the rhetorical mastery. You're not going to get accused of incitement to violence because he's saying in the public square. He's saying it's metaphorical. Nobody knows what it means. Now, everyone knows what it means. No, they don't. It gets the people going. This is a wizard, bro. This is a wizard. He's a wizard. He is a wizard. And finally, we have here the White House tweeted this: Don Lemon arrested for involvement in the St. Paul church riots. When life gives you lemons. So to conclude this segment, Don Lemon has been arrested. He's been let go later today. Really want to know, podcast was saying, this probably won't stick. It won't stick. And I agree. But, and I remember a few years ago, people used to say that this word was racially coded or something. But I'm going to say it, dude. I'm going to say it. What's the problem? I said it on Michael Franchese. I use this word on everyone. He's Italian. Don Lemon is now a thug. He was a thug when he was at CNN. He was a thug there when he was spreading hate and division in this country. I don't care if you agree with him. His rhetoric was poison. Like all the other people on CNN. That channel is a poison on this country. And I'm equal opportunity. Fox News, same thing. All of these journalists are merchants of death. And they deserve to be under the prison. These people don't care about you. If you watch CNN, if you watch anything except CNBC or Bloomberg, you are getting molested. Your brain is being turned to mush. I don't tell people what to do. I don't think it's respectful. But if your parents, if anyone in your life is watching this stuff, CNN, any of these thug channels, MSNBC, any of these channels that are run by thugs that want you to be angry, get them to stop watching it. It is worse than being an alcoholic. It is worse than being on fentanyl. It is worse than being on cocaine. It is poison. The poison is not coming from Venezuela. It is coming out of Atlanta and Los Angeles. This stuff is poison. It is designed to destroy the brains of people you love. It is designed to cause conflict at Thanksgiving, at Christmas dinner. These people are disgusting. They are thugs. I'm sorry I get heated, dude, but I hate these channels. They are all thugs. They are thugs that traffic in rage and outrage. And they should be under the prison. This charge won't stick. We need new charges for these people. You thought throwing him out of CNN was going to stop him from making this country go insane. This is Schizo Watch. This is the schizophrenia of America. It has a face. But he's only gotten worse. These people are thugs, and they should be, their microphones should be shut off. All they do is make people angry. All they do. I remember how this thug comported himself during COVID. Putting death counters on TV so that your grandparents were worried. So that your parents were worried. So that you were worried. So your cortisol would be elevated, taking years off your life. I remember when they sold us a war in Iraq. I remember when they sold us every crock of shit that has been sold to us. These people are poison. And obviously, I don't endorse any violence. We're a first world country. This is America. These people need to go away. They need to be shut down. They should not be able to post their rage on online or on TV. These people, if not evil, comport themselves in a way that is so evil that they should be taken away. And these guys in particular, this corporate media crap. Your local news anchor is probably a great guy. I like my local news anchors. These guys are garbage. They are garbage. They're garbage. I had everything says my view of Al Sharpton. Dude, a lot of people traffic in this crap. They traffic in rage. And that's not what we do on this show, dude. We're analyzing. These people are just gross, man. They're gross. They're gross. I can't stand this. I really can't. It's about damn time that these people know they can't traffic in this poison. If someone is selling fentanyl, they get locked up for 30 years. But if they're selling you mental fentanyl, they get a fucking multi-million-dollar deal. Rachel Maddow gets to get up there with Hillary Clinton and tell you that China should send money to the Democrats. And nothing happens. You should be in jail. You're telling half this country that the other half is embracing however you want to say it. This is how a normie thinks. The enemy country. And you think that that's okay? You think that that's normal? Fuck you. These people are scum. They are thugs. All of them. All of these corporate media people do this. I gave Scott Jennings the same shit earlier. The same shit. The head house slave on CNN. Massa, I'm Scott Jennings. I love to bring conservatives in to watch this poison. Oh, I love it. I love. Same thing. Another thug. These are thugs. Thugs. And it's not because you're gay and black. Scott Jennings is white. Rachel Maddow is a white woman, and she's gay. Anderson Cooper is a white gay man. All of these people traffic in this. Before we end the segment, I do have to say one thing, which is that we have Fishback, obviously, on Joe Rogan. And I have to inform you that Joe Rogan talked about Piers Morgan. If you're not aware, Piers Morgan fell and he broke his hip. So this is a funny watch, just to lighten the mood a little bit. Okay, just to lighten the mood.
Yeah. I remember you were having a conversation, I think it was on Piers Morgan, who is the best cat wrangler in the business.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what he does. He cat wrangles.
Yeah, I just talked to him briefly.
Is he okay?
On it. Well, that's what I asked him.
Yeah.
I sent him a DM and I was like, hey,
For people who
man.
don't know, he fell.
Yeah, he fell.
And really fucked himself up.
And it was the hip.
Yeah.
And at his age, the hip, you know, you don't want to, nothing with the hip.
Yeah.
Every time I see anybody who's 60s, they get the hip injury, it's bad.
Yeah, it's not good. I think they think your lifespan at post-hip surgery is like 10 years.
Yeah, it's right. And that
He'll probably be better than that.
he will.
'cause he's
And I think he's
wealthy and-
mobile.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
good.
He's mobile,
Well,
but I
they're
asked
really
him,
good at hip replacements now.
I was like, "What's are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing okay." And I was like, "Don't fuck around with the hips, dude."
It's crazy that he had to have a hip replacement. Like, how bad was that fall?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the details of it were, but
I felt like a sack of spuds, he wrote. Wound up needing a new hip after fracturing the neck of his femur and is recovering from surgery. In addition to being on crutches for 6 weeks, he won't be allowed to take any long-haul flights for at least 12 weeks. He tripped on a small step inside of a London restaurant.
resulting
Wow.
in the tumble. You think he was drunk?
He could have been a little fired up.
A little drunk?
Was also, not the most fit or agile guy in the world.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only 2 years older than me.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Not crazy.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. Some
But-
people
Yeah.
don't take care of themselves.
Yeah, he got
So, what I want to say, and it'll be a good transition here, is that I heard famously of this Groyper curse when we had a lot. We still have Groypers here, I assume. But we are an open channel to everyone, except Don Lemon. I was informed of this Groyper curse last year, where apparently if you try to take on the Groypers, you are cursed. And it seems that this Groyper curse is real, dude. I don't want to upset these Groypers, man, because, dude, he has Nick Fuentes on, makes a fool of himself. His wife's cheating comes out. His wife's lusting after the pool boy comes out. And now he falls and needs a hip replacement. I don't know about this. I don't know who Nick Fuentes is. But clearly, there is some power there, dude. Like, there is some sort of, like, fucking, I don't know. That shit is scary. All right. Let's move on. Got a little heated there, dude. I did get a little heated just because it's just gross. It's gross. I hate Don Lemon. I had to play this clip, which was going semi-viral here, of Nick Fuentes talking about home ownership. Just to see what you guys think about it, okay?
Learn some of
Tuxedo
this.
Sucks sent $20. Trump's remarks about housing prices today killed the last sliver of hope I had for him. This guy literally fucking hates us. Even though I never miss a night of this show and have bought into this Trump admin sucking, part of me still held some hope. It couldn't be more blatant that these people fucking hate the citizens.
I'm a little bit torn, because I'm a homeowner. So when Trump says I want asset prices to increase, hey, I'm rich, so thank you, Mr. President. Dude, I'm going to be with them. I'll be right there with them. Trump, we need Bitcoin to go in the other direction. Trump, we need Bitcoin and the S&P 500 back in the right direction. When he says that, I'm like, dude, fuck these niggas. Trump says we need housing prices to go up, not down. I'm like, dude, way. Fuck these niggas. You have all these students. You have all these idiots that went to college. We can't afford a house. I can't afford a house. I'm 28 and I have 5 roommates. I don't know what to tell you. Have money. Have more money. Make more. I don't know what to say. Get a job. Like, you have all these seething people, they identify with the working class. They go, I just want affordability. I can't afford a house. It's like, I would take that to my grave. You couldn't get that out of me. You can't afford a house? Houses are not that expensive. You can't afford a house? Have money? Sorry, I don't know what to say. Get those prices up, man. Jelk those prices up. Jelk those prices up. Let's go full max. Let's go max on those housing prices because, you know, I own real estate. But I understand why you guys are mad. I understand why that was the last straw for me. Really? It wasn't the war for Israel? War for Israel, no mass deportations. That was the last straw for me. He said housing prices should be higher. The last straw is that you're broke? Dude, hand up, not a handout. Don't you realize that? Haven't you tried pulling yourself up by your bootstraps? Make money? I don't know. No, I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. Housing should be free. They should give it out.
So obviously, I saw some people that were angry about it. Okay? They were saying, oh, you know, this was boomerism escaping from the lips of Mr. Fuentes. And I think it's probably a joke. You know, it's probably a joke. I don't agree with this guy on most things, actually, but I'm just watching curiously what's going on. Now, what I will say is, look, obviously, I understand the anxiety around not owning a home that a lot of people have. But I will say, dude, there is some truth to this clip in the sense of stop worrying about it. Stop expressing your concern about this. In my view, and maybe I'm out of touch or something. Guys, I know rent goes up. But, you know, I was talking to Gemini about it, and there are going to be a lot more towns in the future, a lot more new cities. Let me tell you the truth, all right? A lot of cities have declined. I'm sure I Hate Everything can attest to this. I like New York because I only went there 3 years ago for the first time. But every New Yorker I met is like, dude, you should have been here 10 years ago. And I say the same thing about Miami. People, my producer says the same thing about LA. Friends, I had a friend say it about New Orleans. New Orleans? Listen, you must liberate yourself of this desire. Zen Buddhism. This was always a trap. Okay? Brother, don't worry. There's gonna be a solution. We need to bodge Lard Max, obviously. Today I went to the local donut shop and I asked them for a pizza. It created an interesting conversation. All right, they were very confused. You need a bodge Lard Max. But also, we need to start boomer maxing. Okay? We need to start boomer maxing. And what I mean by that is that boomers, a lot of people are critical of them. But the reality is this. This boomer thing that frustrates a lot of young people where they say, it'll all work out. Don't worry about it. We need to start adopting this mentality. It may not be true, but this doom and gloom, and I told you that it is in the prologue of Rules for Radicals. You need a little joy. Let's play the clip. Let me look it up, dude. I might just have this for the soundboard because this is a great clip. Okay, we need to have a little joy in our lives. Let's make this big. Where is it? Where is it? You guys know what I'm gonna play. Where is it? How do we find it? X. Let's see. It's gotta be here. Where is it? Where is it? My man. Let me see. How do you spell this? Is it with an E? Is it with an E? I'm going to save this for the soundboard, dude, because we use this clip a lot. God damn, dude. Here we go. This is what we need. We need more of this. Look at this boomer, Robert Wright. Joy again. We need a little joy. The apples rotten to the core. We need some joy in this world. You need to stop worrying about this. You need to become a boomer. It'll all work out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all going to work. Okay? Little positivity. And everything says, feel like going to Antarctica to see if there's actually gold and oil over there and tell those climate activists to go fuck themselves because I want their oil and gold. Maybe we'll get them. I think that could take us to our next story. It could actually. Let's get to Epstein first. We need to talk about Epstein, okay? Firstly, I want to play this clip of Sean Ryan, okay? The reason I'm playing this is because, guys, I haven't really addressed this Epstein thing because I don't like talking about it. Because I've noticed that there's this attitude where people are saying they want to know what happened, what the reality was. But I think there's a revealed preference here that you can see on Sean Ryan here, where I think a lot of people don't want justice or to find out what happened. What they want is salacious, pornographic details of everything Jeffrey Epstein did. Yeah, and then he opened me up and he inserted his egg-shaped. That seems to be what people want. Like Sean, let's watch Sean Ryan here talking about the Epstein case.
They are legitimately, proactively protecting pedophiles.
They are protecting pedophiles at this point.
By redacting the abusers' names. The White House, listen up, everybody. The fucking White House is protecting pedophiles. You hear that? They're fucking protecting pedophiles. That's what the fuck they're doing.
Listen, the way he's saying this, it just reads to me like you want to read Lolita or something. Listen, I have a friend who's a lawyer. They were working a civil case. This was last year. It was about a car accident, doesn't matter. One of the people they had to depose was an actual child abuser. They had abused their own children at the ages of 6 and 3, I think, and had run a daycare. My friend read this, and they needed to talk to this person for the case. And they were like, this is the most disgusting thing I have read in my life. I don't even want to depose this person. I don't want to talk about it. It's fucking gross. They had to do it because it was their job, but they weren't like, let me read what actually happened. I want to know, how old were the kids? I want, they didn't, because that's sick. That is sick behavior. It is sick behavior. Okay? And so it just drives me nuts. Hang on, guys. My producer's sending something here. Not low on my end. You guys have any problems with the audio? Is it low? Let me know of anything, guys. My producer's saying that he's reading it as low. I don't want to know the salacious details of all of this stuff. I think it's gross. It's not good. But people really want it. They want sexy, racy. She was 6 years old. He was 50. And I'm not here for that, dude. I think that's gross. So that's my problem. I see I really want to know says, we need to get you on the value tape. I would love to meet my friend, Pastor Red David. So I just don't like, thank you, I had everything. I don't like this idea of I want to read every detail here. All right. So these emails and other things came out. I'm showing you AF Post later. We're going to go through AF Post's timeline because they did a pretty good thing documenting it. Just an FBI report citing a confidential human source released in the final batch of Epstein files claims Trump has been compromised by Israel. And here we see the file. These files were deleted by the government. Okay. AF Post here says, in a 2012 email chain, Kimball Musk, the brother of Elon Musk, is warned not to harm Jeffrey Epstein's girl, identified as Jennifer. Kimball responds by agreeing and says he is enjoying his time with her. Here we have Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's brother. And here we have this here. You know, Kimball better be nice to Jennifer. Jeffrey goes crazy. All right. Okay. Thank you. And if we go here on the AF Post, we can see today that there was a bunch of stuff here. Elon Musk accepted an invitation from Jeffrey Epstein to visit the Caribbean in 2013 because they have all these emails. I don't know why these people were emailing this stuff. In 2016, Jeffrey Epstein emailed Noam Chomsky about the black-white test score and IQ gap, referencing material from Mike Enoch's The Right Stuff. In the email to Chomsky, Epstein notes that the Nobel Prize winner James Watson was thrown out of academia for accepting some uncomfortable facts about race and IQ. And we have the email to Noam Chomsky. I did see the PBD impersonator Mystery Lou. He's very funny. I like that guy a lot. Very good. Sean Carter, Jay-Z, and Pusha T have been named in the Epstein files, with Pusha T being identified as a handler of an Epstein victim. Pusha T also attended the party and drugged the victim before engaging in sexual abuse. So you can go on and on, dude, because they deleted them, but they were all seen, you know? In an email to Michael Wolff, Jeffrey Epstein referenced to what he called Donald Trump's Achilles heel, pointing to Melania Trump and discussions surrounding the timing of an alleged porn star relationship in relation to the birth of Barron Trump. Epstein also noted Melania was being escorted by armed professionals when taking Barron to school. Weeks later, Epstein had warned Wolff of what he described as cracks in Trump's mental state, suggesting the public exposure of the Melania-related story could drive him over the edge. All right, look, I'm not going to speculate on whether this is true or false. I don't know. And neither do you. This was a leak. People got it. I'm not running cover for anyone here. But I just don't want this idea. What I want to do here is take a moment to say, dude, I don't want to know the details here. I don't. If you have to make arrests, make the arrests. I don't care who they are. But this perverse attitude that people are showing of like, I want to know just how gross it was, how disgusting. You know, I really want to know what he was doing with those girls. Well, there's a mental illness problem in this country. Like, this is sick. You shouldn't be demanding that kind of knowledge. I like Lolita. It's a good movie. The Stanley Kubrick version. It's a good movie. I recommend it. I'm a huge Kubrick fan. But it's a creepy movie. You're watching it and you're a little creeped out. You know, then you get into it and you're like, all right, I get it. But this idea that you want to know what's going on, I don't think you do. Because my only encounters were vicarious with this stuff through my lawyer friend. And it's gross, dude. Like, I don't want to know about this. I don't want to know. It's the same thing as when the Hunter Biden laptop thing happened. They're like, have you seen his junk? Have you seen his cock? No, I never saw his cock. I'm not interested. Call Tucker Carlson. Maybe he's interested in that. He seems to be game for that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in seeing the genitals of the president's son. I'm not interested in that. Maybe you are. This is a sick attitude, a sickness in this country. And everything says, I saw Epstein got banned by Xbox just like me. I saw that. I saw he got banned by Xbox for lewd behavior or something. Something very poetic. Jeffrey Epstein was banned from Xbox Live in 2013 due to harassment, threats, or other abuse to other players that was severe, repeated, and or excessive. So yeah, I just don't want people to be talking about this. It's like gross stuff. It's just gross. Why do you want the details of this? Why would you want them? So, all right, let's move on to, I think, what's our final story for the night, dude. We need to get to Iran, and we're gonna rely on my old friend AI Telly. Iran released this today. I mean, it's not Iran, but it's one of these Iran affiliated accounts, Daily Iran News. Okay. I really want to know. It says the statements in the e-files are mind blowing. I had to stop reading the file. Yeah. Why would you want to read it? Why would you want to read it? I completely agree. It's gross to read that kind of stuff. It's really disgusting. I don't know. People have an appetite. This true crime thing happened too in this country where people love true crime. I don't want to know about the intricacies of serial killers or, sex abuse. Why do I want to know that? Why? Sick stuff. People need to do something else. They need some joy. All right. This Iran affiliated account called Daily Iran News released this AI video showing how they will be taking down the B-2 bomber if it enters Iranian airspace. And everything says only the French would love reading those files. Maybe, dude, but look, as someone who's I'm not an erotica fan, but I'm a fan of literature. And so as any fan of literature, I read Anais Nin. And you read that stuff and you're like, this is well-written erotica. And it was in the beginnings of the 20th century. I think it was in the 30s that she was writing this stuff. And you're like, she was Cuban and French. And you're like, this is well-written. So there is a demand for erotica, but I don't think this is erotica at all. It's just gross, All right. Let's see what Iran says they're going to do to our B-2 stealth bomber. These people, the Iranian regime, deserve to be overthrown. Not for any political reason, I'm saying, or, like Israel or something. But because of this stupidity. We played a compilation a while ago of people saying, can you just build a nuke? This level of stupidity being posted on the timeline is, you deserve a color revolution, dude. You deserve it. Your S-300 Russian missile system what is it going to do to the B-2? Let's watch again. Let's see. Right. Okay. I see Buddy Lulu says, I don't think Iran posted it. It's Daily Iran News. I don't know how there's another one that's like Brick's fan account. Geopolitics analyst. Where are they connected from? Let's see. They're in Europe. I don't know if they're Persians or not that are like propagandizing. But I'm sure that Khamenei really likes that this is on social media. This is the dumbest thing I've seen in my life. You just had Venezuela. You just had it. Look at all the responses. People came with their own AI. This is more realistic, and it's still retarded. And I see Mr. Elu saying, whatever happened to the strong silent type? What happened in North Korea? I don't see North Korea news posting stuff like this. I don't. And so I thought for a more precise explanation of what Iran could actually do, we could go to AI Telly, which released this yesterday. Let's watch some of this. This is great stuff, dude. I love this channel. I love this channel.
How does a smaller regional power take on the world's largest navy with its massive aircraft carriers and advanced destroyers? Well, Iran's strategy isn't to face the US head-on. It is to rely on asymmetric warfare. Take this for example. These two civilian ships are sailing near an aircraft carrier. Everything looks completely normal. But then, with the press of a button, a shipping container doors opens up and out comes a missile. These are the self-made Iranian anti-ship missiles, which can still pack a punch. This is instantly followed by a swarm of low-flying drones and fast attack boats from within the cargo ships, and not to forget the small midget submarines. These submarines can launch torpedoes at the same time. In quick succession, it can pass through the carrier's strike group defense system and even achieve 10% impact. They might not sink the carrier, but they can damage it enough to make the waters too dangerous for the US to operate in. So let's look at the 4 key tactics they would likely use. Tactic 1. First and perhaps most famous is the swarm. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy operates hundreds of small, fast attack craft armed with heavy machine guns, rockets, and anti-ship missiles. The tactic here is simple, but deadly. Instead of trying to fight a US destroyer one-on-one, which they would lose, they deploy dozens of small boats simultaneously from every direction. The goal is to overwhelm the US ship's defensive systems, like the phalanx, by presenting more targets than the ship can track and destroy at once. Moving to Tactic 2, mining the Strait. Next, we have the silent killer, mining the Strait of Hormuz. This is the world's most critical oil choke point. Iran maintains an inventory of thousands of naval mines, including smart mines that can listen for the specific acoustic signatures.
I have to pause it here just to say, you are going to die, Iran. You are going to die. I'm sorry. You're talking to me about mines. They have a plane. Again, I have to emphasize, they have a plane, the Americans, which is invisible. It's not possible for you to see it. They have a plane that is invisible. And you're talking about swarming boats with little boats and mines. What are you talking about? How do you not have a nuke yet? Any Iranian fans, I'm sure we have Iran fans here, and that's fine. Iranian regime fans. How do they not have a nuke yet? This is like World War II tactics. This is Japanese kamikaze, we're gonna mine the ocean. This, and AI Telly isn't running cover. They have to do this. Like, we have to know what they can do. Why don't they have a nuke? Why don't they have a nuke? Effer says it's invisible on radar to be also. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's not like an invisible plane where you can see the pilot. That's true. But that's essentially invisible, right? Let's continue. What else have they got? What else has Iran got? Let's see.
Of enemy ships. In a conflict, Iran could use submarines, small boats, or even disguised civilian vessels to drop mines right into the shipping lanes. The goal here isn't just military, it's economic. This would deny the US Navy safe passage and immediately spike global oil prices, inflicting massive economic pain on the US and its allies. Here comes Tactic 3, the kill zone. Third is the geographic advantage, coastal missile batteries. The Iranian coastline is mountainous and rugged, perfect cover for mobile missile launchers. The regime also employs shoot-and-scoot tactics using truck-mounted cruise and ballistic missiles. They fire a missile and immediately move to a new hiding spot before the US can strike back. This effectively turns the Gulf into a kill zone, where U.S. ships are under constant threat of fire from land with nowhere to hide. Tactic 4. We have the ambush threat, midget submarines. The Persian Gulf is actually quite shallow, which makes it difficult for massive U.S. nuclear submarines to operate. However, it is perfect for Iran's fleet of diesel-electric mini-subs, like the Ghadar class. These small subs can sit silently on the seafloor, waiting for a target to pass overhead before firing torpedoes. It's a surprise ambush tactic designed to damage high-value assets, like carriers or destroyers, while remaining almost impossible to detect by sonar. These small but stealthy diesel-electric submarines designed for operations in the shallow waters of the Persian Gulf pose a significant threat to U.S. aircraft carriers. The Ghadar-class submarines, which are difficult to detect due to their small size and low acoustic signature, could position themselves in strategic locations near key naval choke points, such as the Strait of Hormuz. Equipped with heavyweight torpedoes and capable of deploying naval mines, these submarines could launch surprise...
All right. You guys can finish this on your own. I don't think this is going to work. Maybe I'm just too impressed and in awe of the Venezuela raid. Which, by the way, I have a friend who's a game warden, which is police in Florida, by the way. Like they're feds. They're not feds, they're state feds, right? They are police. And so they have to coordinate with DEA, FBI, CIA, etc., the military. He told me today, insider scoop here. I'm doing some real journalism. I'm not Don Lemon here. Insider scoop. That there are a bunch of military Navy boats that are sitting, like there's a surge of them in Key West, which is the southernmost point of America. Okay? 90 miles to Cuba. There is a surge of them right now. A whole lot of military vessels are in Key West and the other keys. I told you guys yesterday about Cuba. Cuba for sure. If they go in, they're going to get them. They're going to get them. And anything here, I will say, when you finish the video, you'll notice, it's all really based on how can I mess up the oil prices. However, Saudi Arabia is encouraging this. And the United States has Venezuela now, which is not producing 3 million barrels a day. So there will be a pinch in oil prices if the midget submarines and the mines work. But who can hold out longer? I think the answer is resoundingly America, man. It's just this doesn't strike me as very effective in my opinion. All right. That's our show. Before we go, though, we got to check on who's on Bill Maher tonight. Oh, my God. For the BDSM community, this is huge, guys. If you're a BDSM guy like me who loves to torture themselves with Bill Maher, we got Nate Bergatz, Joe Scarborough, ice pick to the testicle, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, ice pick to the other testicle. This is going to be a great watch, man. Hell yeah. This is going to be terrible. I can't wait. Joe Scarborough, the Upton Sinclair of our time? What? The Moreau of our time? The Ezra Pound of our time? What? Great stuff. This is gonna be great stuff. Let me catch up with some chats. Let's get out of here. Efra says, there is no alien UFO tech. Hollywood has really dumbed down how shit actually works. I blame sci-fi for the most part. These are potentially millions of research papers on archive. What is that? Let me look that up. You're a masochist too, Mystery Little? Dude, this is my ritual. I'm in my zone when I'm torturing myself with Bill Maher. What is this? Archive. Scientific papers in the fields of mathematics. Oh my God, this is some real alpha, my friend. I read the Rand Corp stuff, but I'm going to start reading this. This is great stuff, Ephra. I appreciate you. Huh. Look into this website. I do agree with you that they have overshot the capabilities. And if you didn't realize that Top Gun Maverick was propaganda when you were watching it, it's definitely propaganda. I guess it's the F-35 in there. And there's an unnamed enemy, so you can project it on anyone. But interesting stuff. Yeah, interesting. Four Hat says, bro, I'm sorry, but this is BS, Leo. This is like some 17-year-old kid and his mom's basement assessment on this shit. Not good material, my friend. A federal game warden has as much power as an FBI agent. Yeah, dude, but he's not telling me what's going to happen. He's just telling me we're using an indicator. Like he's telling me there's a surge of military vessels in the south of Florida. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's saying there's going to be an operation or anything. He's just telling me, hey, man, I've been looking at it. So, guys, before everyone gets out of here, like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is literally free, and it's the best way you can help the show, just by subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you join the Patreon like 112 did today, which I really appreciate, we have 2 Patreon members, or become a channel member. It's great stuff. I really appreciate that too. Yeah, that would really help out. Have a safe weekend. I really want to know, dude. I know it's going to be cold up there. You guys might get some snow. Be careful. Be careful. Don Lemon 2028. All right. You can't rage bait the rage baiter. Mr. Elu says Top Gun 1 was propaganda. Absolutely it was. Absolutely. I never liked the Top Gun movies. I didn't. The one that I liked that was the same director was Days of Thunder. That's a classic. You got to watch Days of Thunder has the best first 20 minutes of any movie that you will watch. It is like Le Mans level opening. It's a very good movie. That reminds me, I have to shoot an episode of the King Leo Movie Club tomorrow. Snow up in Tampa? Yeah, snow up in Tampa, my friend. It's gonna. I really want to know. I need you to stay safe, man. Because Floridians, if we get snow, dude, like we're gonna get hurt. We are a people. You're gonna see people jet skiing in the snow. Like we are not. You're not a serious people. We are not a serious people. Yeah. All right, guys. As you guys know, I always reread the chat, so I appreciate everyone throwing stuff in here. What did 112 say? We're clearly dealing with aliens here. Peace out, my friend. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Let me do the plugs one last time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is literally free. It helps the channel grow. And let me open this up. You got here the Discord, which is free. We have some fun in there. We have the Discord. Join the link below. We have the Patreon, where we have 2 patrons already. I really appreciate this, guys. Audio Vibes and 112. Shout outs to you. I'll edit your name in the Chiron 112 so that we know that it's you. And the coffee link here for the bracelet. What would a postmodernist do bracelet? It's gonna be a great week next week, dude. I'm very excited. If they do it on Monday, we'll do an emergency stream. We'll do an emergency stream of James Fishback with Piers Morgan because that's gonna be so good. It's gonna be great stuff. I really want to know, since I grew up in Ohio, I'll be fine in Tampa. Yeah, you will be fine. Yeah, that's true. Us Floridians, you know, we're the ones that, dude, like whenever there's a hurricane and there's flooding, dude, I see every fucking 17 through 60-year-old Miami Hispanic is out there on a wave runner in the flooding. We are an ingenious people in some ways. But thank you, Ephra. I really appreciate you. Ephra, I respect you a lot. Ephra's one of the OGs. I'm gonna check out that website, actually, Ephra. I didn't know about it. It's very cool. I like to read the Rand Corp stuff. I forgot to wear the kufi. Whenever we talk about Iran, I'm gonna look a little Muslim. It's a Muslim holy day. Well, I guess it's Saturday now, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, dude, you know what's crazy is that, will it affect the orange juice prices, Full Hat? I think it will, dude, because Florida produces most of the oranges for orange juice in the U.S. But I wouldn't trade on it myself. We don't really survive frosts very well. That's a good question. That's a very good question, sir. Let me ask Gemini really quick if that's still true. Minus 14? Where are you, Eves? Where are you? That's crazy. Can't do that. Can't do that to yourself. Is Mr. Elu, you two, you guys are in Tennessee, both of you? That's wild. That's wild. Does Florida produce the majority of the oranges for OJ in the U.S. still? Let's see. That's a really good question. Falling because of citrus apocalypse, California, but California grows the other ones. Let's see. I know greening. Is there hope? Yeah. So who? But so who produces the most for OJ not eating? Yeah, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff, man. Like the Hispanic ingenuity you'll see in Miami. Oh, it's Brazil. It's Brazil. That's pretty crazy. All right. I always thought it was us. The Saudi Arabia of orange juice. Oh, that's good to know. Brazil, the country of the future, and it always will be. I saw this guy one time, dude. I was in the Keys, and this Cuban guy was in his 50s. I'm not fucking with you, dude. He took a cooler, like a styrofoam cooler, and he attached a boat engine to it. This is like a 2x4 cooler, like a tiny cooler. And he used it to go fish for lobsters. And he did this in front of me. I was like, there's no way. There's no way you can do this. And I said it. ¿Qué piensas tú? Que yo no lo puedo hacer. Hacer, ¿qué tienes tú en la cabeza? Yo vengo de Cuba. Yo sé cómo hacer barco. And he built this little boat out of a cooler. And he came back with like 10 lobsters. We ate the lobsters. How the hell did you do that? How the hell did you do that? What is in the water in this city? It's crazy. It's crazy. I appreciate everyone tuning in. All right. I will reread the chats, guys, and I hope to see you on Monday for that great interview. See you guys then. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, join the Patreon, become a channel member. You know what to do. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you next week.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. 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 Change the world.